Hey, hey,
What up, Doc?
Shelby. Hey, I've got a great topic which is inspired. I had about two clients this week actually, and they're both were having massive anxiety about. Well, they didn't even know why actually. So, but when you probe, it was anxiety about the future. When you really look at it, we have anxiety about what we think is about to happen. We're gonna experience more pain than pleasure. And we're maybe comparing our experience to a past experience, and we are trying to avoid having that same issue. And so anxiety right now is a hot topic because I think that people that it's hard to know what the future holds, and we have all these changes happening, and so anxiety seems to be pretty high right now in the world. And so I think the work that we do with anxiety can be really helpful to teach people how to lower the anxiety level, because when you're in an anxiety state, it blocks vision, and it blocks you from being able to really move forward because you get stuck, and you have a hard time moving forward. What are some of the things that you tend to like to share with your clients about anxiety, to how to break that pattern?
Great question. This is something that I'm noticing on the intake forms and conversations with my practice members in the clinic, as well as my coaching clients, is their anxiety is at an all-time high. And people who haven't necessarily, have said, I have anxiety, are now coming out and saying, you know what, I'm experiencing anxiety. I'm having anxiety attacks or panic attacks. And it's a really big thing affecting a lot of people. And it impacts in so many ways. Just a few clients that I'm thinking of off the top of my head, it's impacting their sleep. It's which we know when sleep's impacted, that affects your relationships and how your tolerance and communication. Sometimes you can be a bit more reactive. It affects your productivity at work. It can affect your digestion, all that kind of stuff, the anxious feelings. So the impact of anxiety, I just wanted to bring that up and say, like, it impacts everything from your health, your wealth, your relationships. So it's not a small topic, and it's something that it needs to be addressed, especially we're at a time right now where it's an all-time high and people don't know how to deal with it. And some of the things that is common is just going to medication, and which isn't a bad thing. What we're here to say is there's other ways of looking at it and trying things out that can really be effective, because you actually feel empowered because you have control over what's going on versus needing something outside of you. But say something?
Yeah, I think that we've talked about this many times through our last videos. Anxiety is another feedback, and so it's a symptom. And so again, it is about embracing it, just like you would if you had a back pain or if you had a headache. Embrace the message that is trying to give you. Anxiety is a feedback that's got a message to it. And so before you go and take a pill to lower the anxiety or do other things externally, go inside first and see if you can embrace the anxiety and find out what it's trying to teach you about something. Because I just know in my life, when I am not super clear, or if I don't have a plan of action that's set, I have more anxiety about my future because I'm not super clear about where I'm going or what I'm doing. So one of the first things that I notice that helps clients is let's get clear about your mission and your message again. Let's tap back into who you are, and that alone helps their anxiety drop down. And then let's connect back to your body through breath. And I know that's you've got some great stuff on breath work that I'm sure you have some anxiety breath work videos that you have, I'm sure. So tap back into those things and connect back to your breath so you can get back to your breathing. Because when your anxiety is high, it affects your breathing. You get shallow breathing, and that affects your energy levels. It affects your pain levels, and your inflammation levels are a lot higher when you have anxiety breathing. So it's really important to embrace anxiety but get back into the body again, right?
Yes, because here's the thing, when you're in those moments and you're having all of these thoughts and you're having that physiological response, is trying to think about it and solve it through your mind that's already, in that amygdala state, emotional state, it's going to be really challenging to do so. So connecting to the body and starting there first is perfect. And I love that you brought up having a clear sense of vision and mission, which together is vision.
That's right.
If you don't have that, it can bring up fear of the future, right? But another piece too, if you have emotional baggage in the past and there's something that's in your environment and it triggers it, that right there also needs to be cleaned up, and working on those perceptions and integrating that mind body physiological response that also exists and could be triggering what's going on with the anxious experience and feelings that you are having. So, big vision and then clearing up the stuff from the past. Those are two massive things when especially, you've talked about your clients with my clients as well. Those are the two main things when we're dealing with those anxious and feelings and panic attacks.
Yeah, I think it's important to know that it's okay to ask for help, because what we can do is help ask quality questions to help figure out the puzzle of why the anxiety is there. It's there for a reason. And if you can ask the right questions and figure out, where is it coming from? Is it something in the past? Is it something you're really having in the future? Is it a lack of clarity? What is it? And we can ask these quality questions to help get people clear and then understand why it's there, learn from it, and then move on. Yeah. That's what we do. That's where the goal is learning from the anxiety, just like any other feedback, and then moving forward and continue to go along your path and not let it stop you in your tracks.
Yes, because as you know from your clients and my clients as well, it's like it can stop you, from fulfilling what you'd love to do. And so we do have these tools, these questions to ask, and also these body practices that integrate the mind and the body and bring it to balance so that you have that clarity. And it's very powerful. If you want to reach out to either Dr. Dave or myself to have a conversation of what this could look like, we'd love to help. So Dr. Dave, where can people find you?
Go to my website, drdavetug.com, fill out the intake form, ask me whatever question, and we can have a conversation and figure out what's going on with the anxiety, help us through this thing. How about you?
I'm on LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. If you'd like to contact me via email, it's frontdesk@empowerchirokw.com. We can set up a conversation and talk about you reaching your goals. So love this conversation. Good to see you.
Have a great evening.
We will chat soon.